Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chris Willow Show. And thanks for tuning in, all of you who are watching. And I am live today. This is not pre-recorded or anything, so feel free to engage with any comments or anything you might have during the show. And I have a very special guest today. I've got an old friend of mine, Brittany Dilkes, who will be joining us in a moment. But before she does, I just want to say thanks to everyone who tuned in last week and all the times before. And if you're enjoying the show and you like the music I've been making, then please do buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Chris Willow. All proceeds appreciated. And so news in my life. I have been writing more again, and I've been working on the artwork for the Songs of New Beginnings album, which I hope to release wide scale. We did that soft release. I did that soft release last year, but I hope to go wide scale with it in the next few months. And yeah, I've recently been working on the album cover for that, and I'm very stoked with how it's turning out. So yes, thanks everybody for tuning in so far. And Brittany is a piano player and singer and songwriter, scuba diver, all these things, and she's going to tell us all about it. So without further ado, here is Brittany.
Hi. Hey, Chris.
Brittany. What is up?
Hey.
Well,
Nothing much.
I gave away
right
your
now.
intro, but feel free to tell us who you are and what you do and how we know you, how we know each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I studied music, so I suppose I can be classified as a musician. And yeah, songwriting and singing and piano, jazz piano, and some violin and teaching. I mean, all the things. And then, yeah, I mean, you hinted on the snorkeling and the free diving things underwater.
Yeah. We got all sorts for you, everyone, tonight. But yeah, so we grew up near to each other in terms of geography, but also circles, you know, so you went to the same school as my sister.
Yes.
Peripherally
I mean, that's where it started.
aware.
Yeah.
But I don't think the first time as an adult that I remember meeting you was adult, but as a young adult was at a running club. And I'd been in the UK for 6 years, and I just moved back to Cape Town. And I went to the running club and saw you there. And it
was so weird.
Yeah.
Because I was sort of running along, sort of focusing on whatever else. And then I was like, this face is so familiar. And so is this voice. And then there you were, boom. Hi.
How was I then?
It was so cool. It was such a cool, like, reconnection. And then we could just, like, chatted. And then, I mean, that's it. Then you think, oh, cool, okay, like, that's it. It was so cool bumping into Chris at the running club. But then somehow we ended up staying in touch. And then you Facebooked me. And then we decided to sort of do some collaborations and stuff. Hey, then It was like the beginning of that whole thing.
It was great for me because I just arrived and didn't know anyone outside of a high school context, you know. So
Right.
I didn't, you know, I play guitar. Hi, everyone. Can we do something? And, you know, were you gigging at the point, or had you done a lot of gigging already, or?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I was still studying, so it was the odd gigging and like a lot of teaching, and yeah, working on the gigging stuff.
It was
But
just
studying, you know, was
lucky
like
timing, I guess, because I
Yeah.
really wanted to play more, and I guess so did you. And
exactly.
I
Yeah.
am very grateful for being able to jump on your scene, really, because you know you had all those gigs and I don't know contacts and things going on, and it was just so cool
Yeah.
to be able to play together.
It's so cool. Yeah. And it was just like kind of what I was looking for as well. You know, come to the studio. I want you to do some vocals on this track that I've been working on. I'm like, yes, sounds amazing. I'd love to do that.
I think that was the thing, is like to meet people, I was like, well, what do I do? Well, I play guitar and I have a laptop and a microphone at my parents' house. So, hey, somebody I just met, do you want to come and make some music? So that's basically how it went, you know. But no, it was really good. So basically I started playing gigs with Brittany, with her project, with her music, and just in a supportive role. But it was so cool. I really enjoyed it, you know, and
cool.
Obviously,
because then it was also your project that we were working on. You were doing the running and the album,
Back on Solid Ground.
Album.
So I just love to make stuff. I love to record things, and it's whoever's down for it. It's good. I mean, it's obviously
so cool,
especially at that time, because I had just arrived home. I was at my parents' house. It's like I had nothing but time, so it was just like let's do stuff. Cool. Yeah, and then it wasn't only the music. Then we hung out the various places. Simon came along. Yeah.
Don't know how that. We just all started like making music and hanging, and it was so cool.
It's good times. You know, like I do miss Cape Town predominantly for the people. Like it's not the weather or anything like that gets you. It's just, it was like, but I think the thing is, it was also the time. It's not just the place. It's the time and the place. It's
exactly.
These magical eras happen in life. And, but Brittany is playing a lot, aren't you? Obviously not now. How's this affected you? Is everything closed down?
So, I mean, you know the gigging scene in Cape Town too. I mean, we played some gigs together, but then I got some regular gigs at Piano Bar and some other places. I mean, not a lot, but some regular things. And now since COVID, Piano Bar shut down. And then luckily, I was lucky to get some gigs in December. I got 2 gigs there at half pay, but still it was something. I was like, I'll take it.
I know.
And now they've closed down until like next year. So it's so sad, but
so intense.
It'll build. I mean, hopefully we'll all get back to where we were, but it's been also good to actually look at other things. I think it's been good for all of us to actually, I know it's this weird time, has actually allowed us to all look at other things that we might be interested in, you know?
What's that been for you?
On that. Oh.
What other things are you looking into?
So I've been thinking about massage. I'd be really interested in doing like a massage course that then would allow me to just open up a completely different avenue, you know, like away from music, a nice break from, it's a bit different, you know, something different. And then you learn and you grow and you learn new stuff, and then you can make some extra cash on the side. But that's an idea.
Well, I think there's like a forced adaptation happening depending on where you are in the world now. It's like at the moment, if you have all the gigs, you don't have enough gigs.
Exactly.
So you got to do what you got to do. Massage will be cool. Massage and a piano lesson, and then we go scuba diving afterwards. I mean, it's what a combo. That's the best Groupon deal like I've ever seen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's
and
too
the
good.
teaching has been a bit of a lifesaver too, you know, because that don't know where I'd be without that. But I think it would be nice to take a break from teaching, from music as well. You know, it's like it's been such a cool thing. I've loved it, and it's still there. But it's also nice to open up some other avenues and go down some other things, like snorkeling.
We'll get to snorkeling in a second. I think I'm just going to play a old tune of yours. I've decided to play an old one just because this was recorded basically when we met then. So
right. So then did we decide
like 8 years ago?
You had your computer.
I think this was recorded on my sister's piano.
Actually, yes.
And which is like a German classical big body sound piano. lots of resonance, very ringy, quite big high end, and you'll hear on this recording that is not what it sounds like. So if anyone's looking to get this kind of sweet old school piano sound, all you gotta do is take one of these suckers, SM58, not famed for its piano recording, and just put it inside. I think I can't remember if it was on this track or just something that I was working on for myself, but one of the piano recordings I did there was like one of these mics without a mic stand, and it might be this, which it's like actually just put it inside. Like open the piano and lower down the mic, and it stops somewhere. It's on a ledge somewhere inside, and that'll do. And you'll hear the sound, everybody. But this is your own song, Over You.
Over You, yeah.
And
okay.
I think we recorded this just in an hour or something at my house, my parents' house. And this is Brittany on piano and vocals. And this is the sort of thing that Brittany was playing at the time that I met her and started playing gigs with her. So here we go. You can just mute yourself there, Brittany, for a sec while I play you. Yeah, here we go. This is Over You by Brittany Dilkes. So here we go.
I've never met anyone like you. Every day I meet your gaze, your eyes, they're crystal blue. I've been waiting all this time to get close to you. As time goes by, I have realized, yeah, every day I need to live with my feelings disguised. I've been waiting all this time. I've been waiting all this time to get over you. I've been waiting all this time. I've been waiting all this time. Yeah. It seems to me that you've lost your mind. Yeah. Every day I need to live with my feelings disguised. I've been waiting all this time. I've been waiting all this time, yeah, to get over you.
Yes. That's a classic.
Oh, I remember that.
I love it. Ga-chung, ga-kung, ga-kung, ga-kung. It's like in the sweet tempo where you feel like there's like some like manual cog. Ga-kung, ga-kung, ga-kung. Love it.
All right, the beginning of the solo section. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my goodness. It is a classic. An absolute classic. Have you been writing much? Or you're saying you're kind of taking a break from music, so not so much.
So, I mean, that's kind of a very bluesy, that song Over You, and the other ones very soulful, very bluesy, some of them are sadder, some of them more subdued, some of them more ballad, like kind of upbeat. Those all went into an album, Walking in a Storm. And then I didn't write for ages. There was this like block. I haven't written in ages. And then, I don't know, kind of sort of almost recently or the past year or so, even before that, it took me so long to like break through stuff. I don't know why. I mean, I think we were in touch then where I was explaining, like, I just haven't written. And now I'm kind of inspired by sort of the idea of an ocean album, to actually give yourself a little bit of a focus, give yourself a bit of a direction to actually then get stuff down. And so I've decided to work on this, various songs that somehow incorporate the sea or the feeling of, being near the sea, or, like water, or anything related to the ocean. And it's a bit different. I'm kind of, a friend, Micah, introduced me to Ableton, and I'm very slow at it, but it's been this kind of exploration into learning, how to get your own voice down, recorded.
Ableton is a music software, everybody, not a person.
And I'm so slow at it. It's like not coming easily. But it's so cool to be able to hear yourself. I mean, that's the point, is that you're able to then record what your ideas are to an actual audio. Instead of, in the past, I would write down chords on a piece of paper and just like have the piano. And then that was my, my song. So there was no recording of anything. So it's been really cool, and it's changed a little bit. I've kind of been very inspired by a slightly different sound, a little bit darker. I mean, almost I want to say Massive Attack, although, I mean, they're amazing, so it's not like I'm comparing. But that kind of influence, Air, kind of that sort of trip-hop, kind of slightly darker electronica type of,
I like Air.
Of feeling. But, yeah, I don't know. It's still very much work in progress, and my first kind of delving into that world. So it's interesting, because then you can also incorporate the harmonies, because then like I love to do some high vocal harmonies and things like that, so you can really kind of extend the vocal part of it, and then also have this cool melody. So we'll see what happens, but it's been quite a nice focus, nice project. A little bit different than...
It's great when you start recording yourself. It's a real trip. I mean, I remember when I started recording myself, it's like a whole different beast. It's
you can get deep into it as well.
It gets so deep. You're like, do I need 500 Chris's singing? Maybe we can settle it. Like, let's cut it down to 250. I totally understand. And I think that there's something about walking a new path. So I mean, I've gone through a bit of a change recently myself, and you don't want to. Sometimes being new to something and having the difficulties is what sparks the creativity. If it's always too easy and it's the same thing always, you just do that. One does one's thing, and I find that new sounds, new ideas, really helps. And I totally get the ocean thing. I did an ocean themed album, and I've got another.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, another album.
I mean, how was that?
Yeah, I've got another album. I recorded two. Well, I wrote two kind of at a similar time, both ocean themed, but the one was much more kind of literal, sort of not literal, but more somewhat Carnival of the Animals. More kind of about different characters, seahorse, swordfish, and then using them as like a metaphor for something. And then,
so that's the one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, and then I've worked on another one which is going to come out just under my name, the Chris Willow name, which is which is less sort of direct. It's just using the sea. It's more like, the kind of like the religious imagery of the sea, and almost the sea being like a rite of passage, and the water, and these sort of unknown fears that live in the ocean, and
Right.
but it's just
Cool.
there's so much there, isn't there? As you discover, it's
Yeah.
just like
Exactly.
it
That's
suggests
the thing.
sounds, it suggests lyrics.
Exactly. It can open up so many different like ideas, as you say, it's like symbolic, or you can just go anywhere with the analogy of music of the sea.
And I also feel the ocean. I mean, all water. I love all bodies of water. But the ocean, it's almost like alien life on Earth. It's so different that you almost can't believe it's here. It's
Right.
just there. Like we'll have a look at the photos you sent me now. But it is another world that's somehow
The
here.
world. Yeah.
But then how did you get into kind of scuba? Do you do scuba or do you do snorkeling?
Yeah,
Or do you
so
do both?
scuba diving is with the tank and
Yes.
the tank with the oxygen and everything. But this is not that. I dabbled in that a little bit, but I don't know. It's so much easier without all of that stuff. So this is free diving, or even snorkeling. I mean, it's kind of free diving is. Some people go hectically into free diving where they go really deep and hold their breath for a long time. I'm not going to claim that I can do that. So it's snorkeling, and you maybe / free diving where you where did it start? I would always go to the beach. I mean, my mom and I would always head to the beach, and then I don't know, we just sort of would have our little swims and whatever, and then the one day we kind of just decided to go snorkeling, because I think my mom saw someone coming out of the water who'd just seen all this cool stuff, so it kind of opened up this idea. And then my brother's friend was super into it as well, and she kind of encouraged me. She invited me one day to join them to go snorkeling, my brother and her, to go snorkeling. And I was like, cool, like I'd love to come with you. And then she was like, come, we're going to go nudie hunting. I was like, you're going what? Like, what did you say? What's that? What did you say? She's like, yeah, nudie hunting. So she's, yeah, Nudibranch. I was like, what the hell are those? So they're these little amazing
I could find
sea
some for you.
slugs
Sorry?
that are just the trippiest things. And that's the idea, they're these little like gems of these little weird creatures that just live under the sea. And
I've got some pictures up now. I've got the these little guys with almost look like luminous. Is this the Nudibranch?
So this is the
first
thing.
one.
So this was the beginning, where we just went snorkeling, and you think, okay, cool, I'm going to stay near the surface. And then my brother and her kept on going down a little bit, like deeper, and they were saying, come here, this is the Nudibranch. So I went down, and there was this little weird slug thing. And this picture is a gas flame. So it's this trippy, it looks like a flame. It looks like a gas flame. And
Yeah, the bright blue.
it's just one of the many weird, amazing nudibranchs. So I then have
So this
become
is a
obsessed
Nudibranch.
with
This
it.
is one of them.
This is one.
Is it
type
like a
of
slug
nudibranch.
with?
Rhinophores?
It's
So
almost
those
like
two little
like a
horns.
hedgehog, sort of sea hedgehog.
And then serrata are those little like pieces. So it's like essentially a snail without a shell. Instead, it's that.
Sonic the
So
Hedgehog.
it's amazing. It's trippy, and yeah,
Wow.
that one is a gas flame, which it's amazing to sort of see under the water. So then I thought, like, wow, this is crazy. It's so beautiful and so weird. And then this friend bought me a book. So cool. She bought me this book, and in this book is just all of the different nudibranchs. And then you kind of realize that there's this whole world. So I started reading up about it and becoming more knowledgeable about it. I mean, I'm not going to claim that I know that much, but you kind of get to recognize what other ones there are. So
Wow.
there are so many different ones. I mean, the gas flame.
I mean, I don't know what is are my numbers random. So
The next one is the black one.
Yeah, what is that?
So that's a black nudibranch.
So it's also nudibranch.
It's also a nudibranch. And this
I thought it was a plant of some
this
kind.
is actually a very recent one. So the first time I've seen a black one. So I was like, wow, it's so exciting. This is all fresh. This is all new. I've never seen one of these before. So then you just eventually, the more you see, it's like tick, tick, tick. So exciting. You get to see all these different cool, weird creatures.
Weird. You see, I lived there for so long, didn't know these things existed. I mean, how far off the coast do you have to go to get these? Do you go off the rocks?
You can go off the rocks and then you swim out a little bit, and then the nudibranchs will be generally on the rocks. They like to chill on the rocks, where like they eat and they munch and they do things, and they like to be underneath they like to be in crevices and underneath any like rock overhangs, they like to be there. So
wow.
Some you're going to get much deeper, and then some are shallower. So this is like 4 meters under the water. So it's
not as deep as I would think you'd have to go maybe to. It is quite deep, isn't it?
You have to kind of swim down quite a lot, yeah.
I guess without a tank, 4 meters is plenty deep. Wow. What's this next one we got? Oh, we got an octopus there.
This is the octopus. This is the octopus teacher. No.
How often do you see these?
So it was a very unusual. This was 2 weekends ago. Brighton and I went snorkeling and going around, looking at all the things, and then Brighton was like, come look here, go round the rock. So then I was like, okay, so I just swam round, and then this octopus was just chilling on the rock. You can see it's almost hanging on the side of the rock.
It's actually kind of well camouflaged. If you're not paying attention, you'll just think it's...
Exactly, yeah, you have to spot it. So I had my camera and sort of staying away, sort of slowly kind of coming closer, trying to get all the pics. And then we realized this octopus isn't actually going anywhere. So eventually I had my hand like above the rock there, above the octopus, kind of leaning there, sort of getting these close-up shots because this octopus was sleeping. It seemed to be sleeping.
Chilling.
And it went spiky and then flat and then spiky and flat. I don't know. I don't understand. And we were hanging out there with it for about 15 minutes. So it was amazing. And then about 20 minutes later, there was another octopus sort of curled up in this rock. So it seemed to be the octopus sort of weekend. But yeah, I think that was a particularly good opportunity where one could get a good picture. So it was just
how big is this? Can you give me a sense of scale?
How big is the octopus?
It's tiny.
Like your hand, but then it has tentacles.
Okay. That's cute.
Yeah, and then it's clever. It's really, really clever. It's got an amazing brain. So
they're probably really annoyed at the moment after that movie. Everyone wants to be friends. After my octopus is like, leave me alone. I was fine for Manelia.
Yeah. Leave me alone, please.
Do you know what I think? Like, for somebody who's I'm quite into, very into the kind of the idea of the ocean and conservation, and I'm very. It's quite a big purpose in my life. I don't swim, or so for. I've never particularly gone to the beach a lot. I never swim in the sea. I've never been a surfer. I think I'm just scared of the cold. I think it's that simple.
Okay.
That's
real.
It's
real.
not for me. I'm a real wimp with the cold. I mean, do you get over it, or has it never really bugged you?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the temperature does change through the year, but in winter it can get cold. So
which coast is this, by the way? Where are you, roughly, when you see these guys?
False Bay. Which coast is False Bay? Indian Ocean. So it's Atlantic. No, the other side. Simonstown.
In Cape Town, it's all bad.
Oh, is it all Atlantic?
It's
Okay.
degrees of bad, I think.
Yeah.
Swimming in Cape Town.
So in winter, it can get down to 15 degrees and then maybe less, 14. And then in summer, like recently, it's been in the 20s, 20, 21, 22.
That's
so
cool.
the thing is, if you're going snorkeling and you want to just stay in the water, of course, even in warm water, you're going to get cold,
Yeah.
you know.
Good wetsuit, I imagine.
So wetsuit's a good idea, but sometimes you just don't feel like it. It's like I
Putting
just
it
sometimes
on is
don't
just horrible,
feel
isn't
like
it?
It's like, yeah, you just want to be, because then of course it makes you more buoyant. So then you're not able to go down as easily, and you're like kicking like a little flip and what, and then you
And then
can't
the
actually
sharks
get down.
are like,
So, bless you. So then I actually then haven't used like recently. I haven't really used a wetsuit, and then so you end up just using your bikini and maybe like a second skin or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was an experience that I had a couple of months ago, like in September, October time, where it was cold, it was overcast, and I mean, usually one can you just fuss bait, you know, and you just go in the water and you last for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then you get out and you're cold, you know, and you have hot chocolate and you warm up. But this time we went out and I don't know, it was beautiful. The visibility was amazing. I had my camera and there were all the Nudibranchs. There was this gas flame, and I was taking a photo. I think it was actually that first photo of that gas flame, where I was taking a photo, and like you kind of always want to go back for a better one, you know, want to get a good shot. And I was in the water for about 45 minutes, and then I realized that something wasn't quite right. Like I wasn't feeling myself. So I lifted my head out of the water, and I realized, because my mom had headed back to the beach, which is a couple of 100 meters away. So I thought, I'm just going to quickly take these photos here, and I'm going to head back to the shore as well. But I got caught up, and you kind of forget about the time or whatever. And I kind of lifted my head up, and I realized, flip, I'm not actually in control. My camera, like my fingers of my camera, my fingers feel weird, and my head is feeling funny, and I actually am not feeling right. And I kind of got taken over by this feeling of like no longer being in control of myself. I was like, what happens if I decide to suddenly, I don't know, go down deeper or something? I don't know. I wasn't in control anymore. It was freaking me out. So then I panicked. And I think it was the cold that just set off this feeling of like, I was no longer in control. So I just swam like hell back to the shore, and it was fine. I was okay. But it was this little reminder that you just, even though you think you're not invincible, you think you're going to be fine, but actually you got to be careful. Any little hint of being too cold,
I wonder if maybe that's what's happened to me, because I'm very bad with the cold in general. But when I did used to swim in the sea more, there were one or two experiences that were terrifying. Like, and it's those things where you suddenly realize, like, how small you are, how big the ocean is. Maybe it's usually when I've been hit by a couple of waves and I'm being pulled out a bit further, and suddenly the panic sets in. And I think I've had one or two of those experiences in the sea where it's probably, even subconsciously, it might be playing a part as to why I don't go in.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because you suddenly realize I'm not a fish. It's like, you're not, we aren't that great in the water. Even the best
of them. The cold is real.
It's real.
It's real.
I'm just going to go to the next photo here. What do we got? Oh, so I love this one. This is the orange and white one.
Yeah, this is so cool.
This might be my favorite one.
This is another nudibranch, and it's called an orange clubbed nudibranch. So it's got those orange clubs on it. Clubs as in like that shape. I don't know why it's called. Yeah.
These photos are great. Oh, and the next one is kelp.
So the next one, so the orange clubbed is just that's so weird. That's unusual to kind of
Is
just
it?
see a nudibranch floating in the open. I mean, you don't really see that. Nudibranchs are generally like on things, like eating things, chilling on things. But these guys, you just sometimes find them swimming in the open.
It's quite dangerous, I imagine, for them.
And then the next one is the kelp. So that's just like the scene.
I get very nostalgic about kelp. I mentioned kelp in a song lyric that's going to come out at some point. And
Really?
don't know what it is about it. It's like, it's terrifying. Kelp terrifies me. It's just you can't see what's there. But especially in
Right.
Cape Town, it's like such a key component of beach life.
And I mean, I know in other waters, like in beautiful tropical places, Seychelles, those areas, you're not going to get kelp. You know, it's beautiful water, blue water, warm water with all these exotic fish. But what makes Cape Town water, I think, so particularly beautiful and special is these kelp forests.
I think so.
Where it's just a completely different feeling. And so that I love it, where you just, and I mean, I get you, like the concept of kelp is scary because it's the stuff that, what if you wanted to come up and it's like covering your face and you get, it's that thought is
You've got
scary.
no visibility, you don't know what's there. But
Yeah.
it's epic. I mean, what's there is a lot of life, you know.
But I think what I've also kind of realized is that you can actually use the kelp to help you. You actually grab the kelp and you go down and you almost use it as an anchor. You kind of,
Wow.
you feel better holding onto the kelp. It's a way to actually anchor yourself.
I say these.
And then,
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
and then swim up.
These photos are amazing. I mean, I don't know
Thanks,
what
Chris.
camera do you have to do all this?
I've got an Olympus
Underwater.
TG6.
Is the camera waterproof, or do you have like a case that goes within?
The camera is waterproof. Yeah.
There's another
It all
orange.
just-
What do you call the orange ones? Club.
So this is the Orange Club Nudie, exactly.
Yeah.
But this one is laying eggs.
Wow.
What?
I feel ill. Oh my goodness. That's amazing, though. You're just witnessing life. Incredible.
Yeah.
And these spikes on the
I
left,
mean-
is that like a urchin or an anemone or something?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a sea urchin. So it's a macro. This is macro. So these guys are actually like this big.
Okay.
They're tiny.
So you've got to,
Yeah.
you can
They're
zoom.
like 15 millimeters.
Wow, so let's go to the next one. Oh, I love this one so much with the kelp and the jellyfish. And this is a great one.
Ah, this was just between these two beautiful rocks we call salt and pepper. And there's lots of life on these two huge rocks. I'd say it's a little bit further, it's a little bit deeper. It's about 8 meters. And yeah, they're just all these beautiful things around that spot. And then one day we went out there were just these jellyfish. It was so cool.
Oh, they're also
beautiful.
small, I'm imagining. Was this also a up-close photo? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, maybe the size of your hand.
Yeah.
They're not too small. Yeah.
And lots of
They're
them?
Here?
Lots of them.
Quite a few, yeah. But this particular one was just accessible and yeah, I could
I've just moved
get
on
it.
to the next Nudibranch. It's an amazing one. Just straight
How
out the
cool.
salon. Some
How
fancy
cool.
hairdos. So this
Oh
one
my
is the
God.
easiest one that I've seen to actually see what it looks like. See its, where its head is,
Right.
and
Yeah.
with the horns, it's like a
These weird
slug
little
with a
horns.
with
Slug.
a sweet
This is called a
outfit.
coral nudibranch. So
Oh, you really? I've got the
Yeah.
next jellyfish. Another great, different color.
another jellyfish.
Just the colors are amazing, And once again, with that classic Cape Town kelp backdrop.
Right.
Yo.
Yeah.
And this next one is also like a club,
Yeah.
but like a
So
different.
this was also exciting because this was the first one I've ever seen of this type, and this is called an orange-eyed nudibranch, but you can't see the orange eyes
okay.
at the front, like at the top. It's supposed to have these orange dots, but it's also kind of unusual. So that's quite fun.
Wow.
That's quite exciting to get that one.
I'm on the next one now, which is this very kind of this is the most hedgehoggy one, where it's very small and densely.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought at least that this was called a silver tip. But I'm starting to think, I mean, you can see the one next door. That's a silver tip.
Oh wow, I didn't even know I was looking at
So
one.
this one, I think it's called a white tip. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, as you can see, I'm
I
no
see the one,
expert,
yeah,
but
the silver tip with like the luminous-y one.
yeah.
And
So
then
those are silver tips, Cape silver tips. They're quite common.
the world of Nudibranch. Never had
How
I heard
cool.
of a Nudibranch. No, it's all I can
know.
think about.
And it's got like this weird spelling, Nudibranch. Like, how do you say it? How do you say it plural? Like, it's this weird word.
How do you say it plural?
Well, I think, so it's spelled Nudibranch, but you say Nudibranch, but then you add an S on the end, so it becomes Nudibranchs,
That's
not
cool.
Nudibranches. It's a weird word.
And then just the last few here, these last two are, what they fauna and flora. What do you call sea?
Sea anemones.
Are these, okay.
These are close-ups of sea anemones. So this one, those are called fan worms. So these are actually worms.
Those, are we looking at the light ones, right? Yeah.
Like fans. So if you were to touch it, it actually goes back into this like tube. It's like you touch it and it goes back into this tube. But when it's just
like a plume, almost like a feather.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a feather worm thing.
And then the next one's
And
to
it's
see
just a whole fan worm of them.
in the orange
And then the
one.
next one, I like this one. It's a knobbly sea anemone. So I love them because there's so many weird, cool sea anemones. And yeah, these close-ups just really get to allow you to see what they look like.
I'm not surprised, but just amazing the colors that you get to see here.
The colors are so weird. And then the next one, I also love that one with the soft yellow. I mean, how can you even...
That's the last pick I've got here. Yeah, that's like...
Yeah.
It's almost like an aloe plant or something.
Something, I know. And then with like a bit of grey. Like, what? How?
It's like the sole of somebody's shoe. That's grown some spines. Looks like a healthy sole there. But Flip, thanks for sending these. I mean, this is just
oh no, it's a pleasure.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show everyone a picture of I've just got it up here of Brittany and I on the beach back in the day that we were talking about 8 years ago. Man, I look good. I need to get back into shape. You look just as gorgeous as always.
One of our hangs on, was it Camps Bay?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Camps Bay, but this is the Cape Town life, isn't it? Record a tune, head to the beach. But just before we go, I'm just going to say to the audience, I haven't actually read any of the comments yet. So, audience, if you have any questions for Brittany about any of the stuff, please get them in now, and we will try and answer them ASAP. So I'm just going to quickly check, Brittany. I'm just going to check the comments here. So beautiful photos, feeling mellow. Always need 100 Chris's singing. That's true. Mark Aston, Harold and Eli, or Ellie. Do you know them, Brittany? They're here. Not sure who these people are. Oh, very nice of you to all come. Thank you very much. And yeah, so we've got Anna here as well. Anna van der Merwe.
Awesome.
Amy Walton. Richard Goodhouse. Greg Wilsonach. My dad's here. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, please get them in here. And yeah, Brittany, anything else you want to talk about? I know you've had some stuff go down in life, and we don't need to cover it. We can just
I mean, I'm open.
Segue into
keen to talk about
we can.
anything,
We're going to be wrapping up anyway now. But if you want to talk about anything else, we can.
Well, I was just gonna say your song on one of your songs on that album. I really like the God in the Waves.
Thank you.
I think it's so cool.
Thank you very much.
Like where you go, it's like such a lovely chord change.
I think it's my favorite one.
Is it?
I think it's my favorite one on the
Very
album.
nice.
This is the Submarine Dream album, everybody.
Yes.
And it's got an odd time signature in that sort of middle section.
Okay. Right.
But it
Yeah.
didn't wasn't forced. It just came out that way, you know. No, I think
Okay.
that's my favorite song on the album as well.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
thanks very
cool.
much for that. And it was quite
Nice.
inspired by Amy and I went to Los Angeles at some point a couple of years ago and went on the coast there, and it's sort of this wrapped up in this sort of weird blend of natural beauty and kind of materialistic get me famous sort of thing that's in the air in California. It was kind of the tension between the desire for these sort of earthly status oriented pursuits mixed with like let's just look at the sea and be happy. Like that's all you need. Just look at that and the waves will humble you, you know. That's
Amazing.
the idea. So we just got one question here from Amy Crankshaw. Thank you very much, Amy. Saying, Brittany, would you consider starting a blog of sorts to document your sea adventures?
It's a very good idea. Yeah, definitely consider that.
Do you have an
Yeah.
Instagram or something with where we can follow
I do. I've got an Instagram. And then, I mean, seeing I wasn't posting any pictures of like gigs, I was like, let me just post some photos of these cool creatures.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I think it's just, I
cool.
think we're in that space now. It's just sort of, you know, fully rounded people are interesting. It's you don't have to be like, I can't post my sea anemone because, you know, it's not a blues piano orientated
Yeah.
post. It'll just be you know, all the facets.
Yeah.
But so anyone who lives in Cape Town, when things open up again, why not consider booking Brittany for your event? She's great, and I'm sure she can bring some flavor to it. You know, I'm sure there's going to be a lot. I don't know. I think people are going to be desperate for, or welcome with open arms, the opportunity to do stuff.
That is one thing I've been missing. I mean, I don't know if you feel this way, but I've been victim of like being a musician myself. I see, I mean, I'll go and gig and that will be my music. Like that will be my night playing music. But then I don't go and watch other musicians. It's terrible. But I've sort of fallen victim to that. And then since lockdown, I've just been so hungry to go and watch live music and like be re-inspired. Because obviously when you do go to see live music, you get re-inspired and you see what's out there and you know. And I've really actually been missing that. I know when things get back to normal again, I am definitely going to go and watch other people's music. Like it's
very easy for things to become unspecial, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sick of gigs. I've played so many. I don't want to watch it.
There's so many gigs. Like, I just want a night in. But actually, you know, that's actually where you get re-inspired from. You know.
But even with playing them, I think that there'll be less complacency. It'll be. I'm so excited to go play music with other people at this event. It's rather than going, oh, I'm going to get home really late. I've got to learn those tunes. It's a.
Yeah.
You know, I spoke to a friend today, and he said he just can't wait. I can't remember his exact phrasing, but he basically said, I can't wait until we can just complain about gigs again. Which is basically said it perfectly. But I'm very excited for it, and I've got a renewed appreciation for playing live. You know, because it's not the same, but just playing at home and as you say, watching other musicians. I think. But I think we're all going to come out the gate with some fire, you know.
And I mean, Chris, when you were here, I must say, it was just so much fun playing with you.
Thank you.
That I think like Cape Town has lost a really cool musician.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
So when you come back here, it would be so wonderful to get back on the scene.
I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed playing with you because you kind of just let me do what I want to do.
So easy, so chilled. Yeah.
It's just like, you know,
so
I'm going to be here playing some stuff. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Brittany, we're going to leave it there.
Thank you.
Could you please
so
send what is your Instagram so we can check out these pictures?
Oh, goodness.
If you don't know it, just send it to me and I will add it to the description of this video, everybody, so you can check back tomorrow or something and it'll be here. Brittany Dilkes, freediver, pianist, vocalist extraordinaire.
It's Brittany Dilkes 1. Had to rename it.
So is Brittany Dilkes? Who's Brittany Dilkes? Not one.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
That's a classic, isn't it? There's always a story with those usernames. Okay, well, anyway, Brittany, I really appreciate this. You have been swell. Thanks for seeing those pictures and introducing me to the world of Nudibranch.
Nudibranch. Yes, exactly.
Nudibranch.
Nice.
So, thanks everybody. Check out Brittany at brittnydilkes.com. Is that correct? Yes. Dilkes, Dilkes. And Brittany Dilkes 1 for the Nudibranch adventures. And we look forward to seeing more. And thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.